Hello, I'm Ginger.
I'm Dee.
And this is Chattin' with Chap. We're back again.
We are.
So this week what we're going to kind of do is just kind of regather ourselves and remind everybody about who Chap is and what's going on with Chap right now. Because, you know, if you have been paying attention to your email or anything, or Facebook, it's been a bit of a whirlwind.
It sure has been. It sure has been for a lot of reasons. Just over the last few months, it's just been a whirlwind.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but Chap exists. I mean, our mission is to equip, encourage, protect, and connect. That is our whole goal, and that's why we exist.
Yeah. So we're here for you guys. We're here to support you on your journey. We're here to link you to curriculum and speakers and other people and small groups, and just to encourage you on your journey. That's the whole reason we're here. Well, and also the protect part, which is going down to Harrisburg and making sure there's no shenanigans going on there, which of course I'll talk about HB 1938 in a little bit, but we are here for you.
Yeah, we want to support homeschool families. We want to help parents in their journey with their children and to help build relationships and to be a support to you as you make this decision to homeschool your children.
Yeah, for sure. So just to get back on the same page together, our desire is to support you and ultimately just help you as you're working on that relationship that God wants you to have with your children, the parent-to-child relationship, and supporting them and helping them grow and becoming the people that He wants them to be.
That's right.
Yeah. So that's why we're here. That's what we're doing. That's why we do convention. That's why we're doing Chat with Chap. That's why we're doing, Facebook posts and Instagram posts and events and all those things. That's why we do what we do.
Sure is.
Okay.
And a big part of what we do is convention. And as I'm sure many of you have heard, we had to make the very difficult and very sad decision to cancel convention in August this year. I mean, we were really given no choice. We could not make a convention happen within the parameters that we were given. We tried.
You should have seen us try.
We tried everything, and it could not happen. And so I'm the Chap's convention coordinator, if you didn't already know that. And so for me, it's been a pretty emotional couple of weeks. It's been heartbreaking. I spent an entire year to put that convention together. I literally have thousands of emails in my inbox. Everything from speakers to vendors to activities to getting an EMT there to reading contracts to
and attendees.
Getting attendees and questions and just making sure every piece of the puzzle happens, and to spend an entire year and then have that taken from us. It's been hard. It really has been. I'll be honest. My heart's been broken and saddened, but we want to be hopeful for 2021. But we do want you to know that by canceling convention, it was a huge, huge hit to Chap, because convention is a big part of our income. So if you are feeling it on your heart to donate to Chap, we would appreciate a donation, and we'll put a link on where you can do that in the comments. Also, if you have registered as an attendee and you are just hearing this for the first time, we've sent 2 emails now, hoping to get a hold of everyone.
Check your spam box.
Yeah, check your spam box, because I have a link in that email where you can say, hey, I need a refund on my registration, or hey, let me donate this to Chap. And the donations have been pouring in. People have been agreeing to donate their registration.
So much. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. That is huge. It's huge for us, because this, I'm telling you, this was a huge hit. And if Chap ceased to exist, I think the homeschooling community would see the great loss that it would be. And so in order for us to keep going and keep doing what we're doing, we need your donations. And so I will throw that link in the comments. If you are a registered attendee, you did not receive that email, it got lost somewhere, please shoot us a message and I will get it to you, because we need that information, because we need to start processing refunds and moving registrations into a donation. And so a lot to do yet. But like I said, we're hopeful. We're hopeful for 2021, June 4th and 5th, 2021.
Back to June.
I know.
Yeah, so, and one of the reasons that I was just so sad that this happens, because I know there's so many out there, and it's not just, there are a lot of new people, and new people need to see others who are doing this and know and be encouraged in that. But it's also all you veterans out there who have been doing this year in and year out, and it has been so encouraging to get together with people So that always makes my heart hurt. So we're going to keep being here. We're going to keep encouraging you through Chattin with Chap. We're going to be trying some new things, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But that was one of the reasons it made the decision so very hard, because we know all you guys out there need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
September I start my 20th year of homeschooling, and
20.
convention was the highlight of every year for me. So when the convention coordinator position opened up and I applied and got the job, I could not have been more thrilled, because I love convention. I love it. I know the benefit of it. I know what it did for me, and I know what it does for many of you. So
Yeah.
but we're still here, and we're still here.
We're gonna find different ways.
Find different ways to be an encouragement to you.
Yeah. So we've been talking recently about HB 1938. This is another part of our State of Chap address. So if you don't know, HB 1938 is a law that would pass that would change the compulsory age back to being 8, and the top is like if you graduate before you're 18, you don't have to stay in school until you're 18, kind of a thing, because they changed the compulsory age to 6 through 18. And many homeschool students, including my son, who just graduated, graduate before they're 18 years old. So he doesn't have to stay in high school just because he's not 18 yet. So part of HB 1938 is keeping that what it used to be, and then it would not be having to get evaluations on 6 and 7-year-olds. It would just be saying a letter of intent. I intend to school my child at home, and then at 8 we would start doing evaluations, which is what we're all used to. So that is what HB 1938 is. Now, right now, it's not moving. I actually wrote to Representative O'Neill yesterday. He has not responded to me yet. But a good friend of mine who stays on top of all those legislative things, Corey, she's awesome, and she said that nothing's moving at the moment. So we're going to keep asking you, if you didn't see our legislative updates a week or so ago, go back, scroll back the feed, and check those out, because there's email addresses and everything, phone numbers of representatives that you can contact and encourage them to support HB 1938 and get it moving. It needs to get moved out of committee. We need to get Democrats to support it. So if you have Democrat representatives, get them on board. We really need to get this thing moving. And I actually don't know when they're going home for summer break. I'm not sure of all those, what's going on there. And I know those of you who are waiting to see what happens to that before you file on your child before August 1st, I will keep you posted. But right now, there's unfortunately nothing to report on it at the moment.
Next on our agenda for our State of the Chap address, State of Chap address, is homeschoolpennsylvania.org. It is a website that we have created to help support homeschoolers in the state of Pennsylvania. And there's been some stuff going on that we just thought we would update you on and talk about here.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, a lot of us are in multiple groups, right? So you follow Chap, and you're in, this Facebook group and that Facebook group, and you get information from all over the place because you can, and it's awesome that you can do that. And so we've been sharing homeschoolpennsylvania.org because it's very succinct. It's easy to find your information. So we've been sharing that and getting the word out on that. Well, there has been some disagreement from other groups on homeschoolpennsylvania.org's content, and some not very kind things being said about it. So what we did as an organization who wants to be upright and forefront and not sharing bad information, because that would never be our intent, is we went to HSLDA and we said, hey guys, can you take a look through our webpage and let us, are we saying wrong things here? What's going on? It's been the content that Chap has shared for years. We just put it on a different webpage in a better format so you could read it. And so we're with them, and they said, no, legally, all of the content is solid. Where it comes in, it is possible to interpret law from a different point of view. I mean, you guys know about points of view. People have different points of view on everything. That's right. So folks might interpret the law one way, other folks might interpret it a different way. And honestly, when you go into a court case, your lawyers on opposite sides are going to argue the law to their viewpoint. It's the same law, So, so that's the thing. So we are working with HSLDA. We are going to clarify the content. The content is correct. So you can go by the content. The content is correct. But we're going to clarify where it could be thought of differently from someone else because of our viewpoint. And it's, just things like, an example would be like this, where Chap says, well, me personally, when I get up here, I say, just check in with your school district and see when you should file on your six-year-old, because some people want you to file in the middle of the school year, the day they turn 6. And some school districts say, don't worry about it, just file next year. Well, the law says file the day you're 6. And it seems more lenient to me if your school district says, file next year. Well, that's what I would do, because I wouldn't want to get an evaluation for my child this year if I don't need to.
Right.
So I personally say, well, it's up to your school district, when technically it's not, because the law is when the child is 6, but it's more lenient for you to check with your school district. So that's what I'm talking about. If you understand what I'm saying, where it's your viewpoint on things. Now, I did learn from a friend of mine that the PDE actually has, the Pennsylvania Department of Education, on their webpage says, if your child is not 6 by September 1st, don't bother filing for that year. So if you go by what the Pennsylvania Department of Education says, you don't need to file on your child if they're not 6 by September 1st. That is yet again another interpretation of that law. So can you see how there's different interpretations? So when you encounter different websites that have differing points of view, my suggestion to you is take it with a grain of salt, read it yourself, and get some counsel of other folks and see what their viewpoints are, or what works in your school district, because school districts are different. I mean, ours is really lenient and has been really great. There are some I recognize that are not, and they're very difficult, and it's very important to be to the letter of the law, or they're going to kind of try to get you on something. So I appreciate that, and I totally understand that. And I guess what I want to do here is just assure you that Chap works very hard to support you on the up and up with correct information, and we try to do our very best.
And if you have a question,
to guide you,
reach out to HSLDA
ask us or HSLDA.
But reach out to HSLDA
Yes.
if you have a question, something
Yes.
related that's confusing, or there's but what we are putting out there, we've actually gone to HSLDA. We've had them look at it.
Have them look at it.
The information
Yes.
is good, and it can be shared. So if you have people that are starting to homeschool or thinking about it,
webpage.
it's a great place to go.
Yeah.
Everything is it's so easy to navigate.
Yeah, it is really easy to navigate. So I just, in everything that we're doing in life right now, everyone has their own opinion on things. So tread softly. It's important to be kind and full of grace. And we all have different viewpoints on things, and that applies everywhere in life. So just from some of the things we've just experienced, I just wanted to reassure you all out there that homeschoolpennsylvania.org is solid. You can share it. You can point people there. Just because someone doesn't agree with the viewpoint that's shared there doesn't mean it's wrong. So just live your life with grace on social media. That's right. What we're saying.
That's right. So let's just talk about Chap itself and where we're at, and what we need. And the very first thing we need is for you to be praying for us. Please be praying for us as we work through the loss of convention, as we figure out how to transition everything and shift everything and move things to 2021. Pray for the leaders and for the staff. We covet your prayers, and we need them. We need them right now. A lot going on. Our
deep heart's desire, like I keep saying, is to support all of you in your homeschool journeys, and we're trying to understand what that is, because all these weirdness things that are happening, I mean, you know it with your sports and your church meetings and everything. Big gatherings, like what's going to happen to big gatherings? We're asking this question. Does this fundamentally change what Chap puts all of its energy into? So these are the types of things we're struggling with, and your prayers or your assistance being involved in some way. We did have someone from New York offer their assistance, and I thank you so much. I don't know if you're listening, but I thank you so much for offering that. And
and I said before, we can use donations. I mean, it was a huge financial loss to us to cancel convention, so I'm going to put a link in the comments if you feel led. If you have it on your heart to donate to us, we would appreciate that. If you are registered and you want to donate your registration, we appreciate that. And volunteers, we could use some help, whether it's for convention or whether it's other things we do.
We would love to put this on podcasts. I know there's a way to do that, but we don't know.
Yeah. Maybe somebody out there, if you're techie and you want to give us some time, we would love the help.
Learn how to make this into a podcast or to a blog spot or something like that. I know there's things like that that would be good for Chap to do so we can reach more people, because everybody has their own preferred mode of things. We just don't have that, and we are working on so many things. I don't think we can pile that on top of what we're doing yet. Right. So we would love to have other team members like that, and I know there's people out there that love that stuff.
Yeah. And most of all, we just want to remind you that yes, a big part of Chap is convention, but Chap is not only convention. We have a lot of things that we do other than convention, and we have a lot of things that we're looking at doing because of the loss of convention. So we want you to know we're still here. Just because convention was canceled doesn't mean Chap is canceled.
No.
And so we're still moving forward. You want to keep an eye out. There's going to be some, we're looking at doing some virtual, some webinars, some virtual stuff. To make up for you missing out on the speakers.
There'll probably be more videos on Facebook that you'll be seeing, maybe with some of our vendors, so that you can learn about them, stuff like that.
And maybe get the discounts you would have gotten at convention, or we're just looking at all kinds of ways that we can still support our vendors, support our speakers, support you, the homeschooler, do everything that we were doing through convention, only we realize we have to make a shift this year and do things differently, and maybe shift that way for the future. We don't know. No one knows what the future will hold. But
still, our guiding principle is always right out of Deuteronomy chapter 6. And, so love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and be teaching everything that he is teaching you to your children. And that's the whole point. You're with them. We're teaching. We're doing life together. And that's why we're doing what we're doing, to support you in what you're doing there. So it's great. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're doing what you're doing. And we just want to keep supporting that community.
We sure do. We're here for you. If you need anything, anytime, you feel free to message us, and we're here to support you and to help you. But thank you for listening to us. Thank you for listening to our hearts, and thank you for praying for us as we go through this transition. But we're going to get through it, and it's going to be good.
Because God is good.
God has a good plan for us.
Looking forward to what he's going to do.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
This has been
Chattin' with
Chap.
Bye.
Bye.